Hello, hello, hello. It's Anne Lewis, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, Australia. Tonight I'm going to be showcasing how to make these gorgeous cards. And the great thing about these cards is you can use your stash of pattern paper, or as we say at Stampin' Up, designer series paper. Every card turns out different depending on the pattern paper that you use. Now, I do Facebook Lives. Well, sorry, let's correct that. I do lives both on YouTube and Facebook every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Brisbane time. But I also do online classes and run a business and have an online store. So thank you very much for joining me tonight. And I can't wait to get started. But I've got some exciting news. Wait a minute, I better throw you up to me so you can see me. I've got some exciting news. The new catalogue. I've got little notes all over mine. The new catalogue is out today. Wait a minute, I just I don't know. Here we go. Hi, the two Glenders. So the new catalogue is out today, which is pretty exciting. Now, if you're part of my community, your catalogue is on the way. As you know, I lost a few weeks not feeling very well, so things fell a little behind, but they're on their way. So I'm sure you'll be so excited. But I have posted the links on my Facebook page if you'd like to look at the digital copy, because if you're like me, you wouldn't be able to wait. Now, I'm going to pop you down to my desk again. Wait a minute, where am I? Here we go. Rightio. So there's some other news just on my notes, hence why they're here, is I'm doing a catalogue launch based at Quina Island, so the Sunshine Coast, on looking at my dates, the 29th of September. And I'm also doing a full day stamp camp, Christmas themed, on the 27th of October. Now, this might actually extend. I may actually end up doing it over a 2-day period. I'll see what everybody's interest is. I've got so many projects that I think I've got to do it over 2 days, but let's wait and see. Now, I don't intend to go through the catalogue tonight. Hi, Gail, how are you? Don't intend to go through the catalogue tonight. However, I just thought I'd give you a quick zipper through so you can see how gorgeous it is. I love this page. I love all the products on this page, and I will be using those in the next couple of weeks. I showcased this one last week, I think, or a couple of weeks ago. I do have paper shares which are advertised on my Facebook page, and they will be coming out in the mail soon, all the details. I'll let you follow all the rest. However, tonight I'm going to be featuring this paper here. Oh, wait a minute, this paper here. It's called Take a Bow. Wait a minute, I'll shift this out of the way so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Now, it's unusual for Stampin' Up because there's 48 sheets at 6 by 6, but there's only 4 different patterns. 8 because they're double-sided, and I'll just show you what they look like. They're nice, bright, they're Christmassy. Don't only have to be Christmas. I like them for lots of things, but I love them for Christmas. Sorry, still haven't got rid of my asthma yet, especially when I start talking. So, hi, Marianne. Hi there. So this is the paper I'm going to be featuring. Now, I made this card and I showcased it. I just showed it to you about, well, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks ago. And I loved it so much to show that up nice and up close. And however, I made it with some retired paper. And I felt that was going to make it really hard for you fellas to actually then replicate the card if you wanted to. So I held off, and tonight I think I've got the right card So I'm going to be showing you how to do 2 cards, very similar. One is a little different and it uses different products. But the first one I'm going to show you is this one here. Now I'll pull out my paper. I'm going to be using, let's work through this. Got all my stuff here. So I'm using Granny Apple Green card base, which is 8 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. And I'm going to score that with my trimmer at 4 1/8. Let's just bring that light back a bit. There we go. At 4 1/8 inches. Don't want that cutter there. That would ruin the night a little bit, I think. Hi Joanne, how are you? So I'll just grab my bone folder, reinforce that fold. This is how I get my edges together. So you do it with the trimmer, whilst it gives you a nice scored line, it doesn't always line up perfectly. So the next thing that I've done is, this time I've used a different embossing folder. I've used the exposed brick embossing folder. As you can see there, it's just got a nice light texture to it. This one I used painted, can't think of it now, painted something. It's in the carryover, so it's on the online exclusives. So there we go. Now, so I'll just put my card base over there and I'll work on here. Now, so what we actually need to do is I've cut strips, and I need 5 strips, 1 inch by 2 1/2 inches, just 5 strips. And the best paper to use for this, and I'll bring back my card, I'll bring back my 2 cards if I can find this other one, because you'll see how it works, is a pattern paper that has dark shade on one side and a pattern on the other side. Not all of Stampin' Up's paper, designer series paper, has the dark and light, but this one had half of it had a dark and a light. And I'm going to use the other pattern that works really well for my second card. But you don't want to pick a pattern that's light and light. You won't get that beautiful contrast that gives that lovely geometric design. I'll put this over here. Now, so I'm going to need 3 pieces of pattern paper. Now, 5 pieces of pattern paper, 3 that are folded the way I'll show you, and then 2 the other way. And you'll understand it very simply. Easy to do. Now, I've kept my glass mat from last week out because it's such a hard surface and it makes folding these cards, these little strips, so much easier. So all I'm doing is picking up this right-hand corner and bringing it over and keeping it nice and square so that point is folded. So it doesn't have, it's folded nice and down that line, you can see. So I'm going right to left. Then on the bottom of this, I'm going left to right. So I need 3 folded like this. And I show you a few times. So 3 like that. Now I've got another, hopefully, 3 folded like that already done. 1, 2. If I keep showing you this, on the next one I will show you a couple more, so don't panic if you haven't got it yet. So as you see, I've gone right to left. Wait a minute, I'll bring this down a little bit. Right to left, and then left to right at the bottom, right to left at the top, left to right on the bottom. And I've reinforced those folds so they're nice and crisp. Right, so I need 3 in that direction, and then I need 2 going in the opposite direction. Now I just turn it around because it works easier for me. I'm going left to right on this one. So I'm folding it over. You'll see how easy this card is. But it's one of those cards I saw ages and ages ago. And I had no idea how to make it. So I sat down and worked it out. Right out. So I need 2 of these. And here's my second one. So I've gone left to right and the bottom right to left. You cannot, I always say I have no spatial capacity at all. You cannot turn these around and make it work. Doesn't work. So you need 3 going right to left on the top and the reverse at the bottom, and 2 going left to right and go at the top, and 2 going right to left at the bottom. Hopefully you understand. I haven't made that too confusing. So I'm going to start with, keep these here. So this is the one I start with, and I put it at the very bottom, nice and square, so it just touches the corner. I'll just show you how that looks. So see how I've just got it touching? It's not stuck down yet. So I've lined that up, and that's the base for everything. Now, get it right up to that very edge, because if you start in a little bit, you're going to have trouble fitting it on the page. Now I'm just using my favourite multi-purpose adhesive. So remember, I'm going like that. This is really easy. It's quick, easy. I've got a little bit much glue on there. I've been getting into trouble from everyone using too much glue lately. As I said, it goes back. Right out. Then, so that's the one that is going right to left. So I've started with that. Then I pick up this one here, which goes left to right. So that brings it back in the opposite direction. So you can see how simple this is. And it's stunning. Come on, no laughing at all my adhesive. But you want to get this nice and square. And make sure that this edge is touching down the bottom here. And that's why we just need it to slide a bit. So I need it nice and square. And I need to pick this up. I'm doing it from a little bit of an angle. So you want this touching down the bottom, and then this nice and tight here. That way it'll all line up as you go across. So I'm then back to the right to left. So this one over here. So it's going to come up here. You see how simple this is, and it looks stunning. This is one of those, if you wanted to make them Christmas cards, you could sit down and watch TV. And coming back down here. Now, if you're using multi-purpose glue and you're fairly quick with this, if some of your squares aren't exactly perfect, you can give them a bit of a slide across. And then this one is my last one. Yeah, that didn't. There we go. It's a little hard to line up when you're leaning up. You can't actually see where you're going. Oops. Okay. Right, so there we go. Now I picked the Greeny Apple Green. I could have used the Garden Green. And the other colour here is Real Red. So there's only 3 colours in this paper pack. So what I then did is I found these gorgeous that were sitting in my retired pack. And I love them. And they were too good to use when they were current. But they were perfect for this job. And it was a great opportunity because I need lots of these if I was going to do these for Christmas cards. So these are called Gold Adhesive Back Swirls. They're from a couple of years ago, I think, and they were just sitting there. So they're perfect. So all I'm doing is lining them up in the... Oh, that one's not lined up at all. Lined up. I'm having trouble lining these up. Now, you could use whatever you wanted, and you'll see on the next card I actually use something that works really well. Still in the annual catalogue. Haven't got my mini catalogue embellishments, so that's why I'm a little short. I know. So how gorgeous are these? They're just perfect. So I'll show you what that looks like up a little closer. All right. Then I've already done, well, actually I want to show you something else. Of what you can do if you wished. Oh, I don't know that I don't. I chose not to do this, but with some papers you actually could do this. And that's actually fill the sheet up. So you can put that one there. Hopefully I've got this going the right way. Not that one. Wait a minute. That one there. No, that's not right. You know me. I always say, wait a minute, because I've got the wrong one in there. Righto. So that lines up there. So that's going back to the right over the left. And then I'm missing one. I'm going to have to cut a couple more. Oh, here it is. Left over right. Right over left. Now, I've only got that many. I'm missing one sitting here. But you can see how that would make your whole page jump. For me, it was just a little bit busy. I liked it a little plainer than that, so I'm not going to do it. But I'm just showing you can keep going. All you're doing is repeating that line exactly. No different. You're starting with the right over left, which you see like there. So there's another option, but I chose to keep it really simple. Well, yeah, it is really simple. This is a quick card, as you'll see. So then I kept the sentiment really simple because I wasn't sure whether I wanted it for Christmas or I wanted it as a thank you card because, as you know, I always use lots of thank you cards. And I'm just going to grab my mini dimensionals, which I have some sitting here somewhere. And I just want one of these skinny strips. Wait a minute, this is this gorgeous bee that someone sent me for the crafty paper bees. So I'm just going to cut a thin strip. Now we have the foam strips, foam adhesive strips, but I like using the edges here because one, it's a little thinner, doesn't pop up as much, and it uses those edges, which is a great saving. Now let's pop this up. So it's nice, isn't it? It just is super, super, super easy, super quick, And you can make lots of these, and it's a great use of any designer series paper. And it's always so good to use our stash up. And as I said, but this paper is perfect for it because it comes both light. It comes with that light and dark. So now I've got, well, I thought I had a piece of cardstock, which I don't seem to have. But let's grab a piece from here. There's my trimmer again. After last week, little Kiko is locked out. So I'm speaking very quietly so she doesn't know I'm in here yet. So all I'm doing is cutting the card insert at what I would call a standard card insert at 5 1/4 inches by 3 7/8 inches. And then, so this is the card. And I've got some paper that will match. So this is the matching card. There's this. Always it gets a little, so I'm going to cut a strip of this off. Now I just do 3/4 of an inch. Well, it depends on if I've got any scraps on my desk. Got no scraps of this paper. Now I know that this is 5 1/4, so I'll cut this down to 5 1/4. I have to be honest, I'm not going to keep that little piece. I'm sure there is something I could do with it. And then I'll just run that strip. Actually, that's a bit thick. So I'm going to cut it down just a bit more. And then it ties in to the outside of the card. Simple, easy. Oh, now this is what I would do. I hate throwing anything away, is I'll add this here. Now I'm not going to put a sentiment on here because it may turn into a Christmas card yet. Or, now look at this, I can add a little decorative strip. Matches perfectly, saves me wasting. Who else uses little pieces like this? Hi Wendy, how are you? Good to see you. This is your first time here, I think. Oh, here we go. So I'm just going to add this. I'm not going to put it in the center. I'm going to offset it just a smidgen. And then I would just stamp it in, what's my colour? Granny apple green. But I want to, as I said, I want to see what I do with it first. Well, welcome, Wendy. There we go. So there's card number 1. As you see, really quick, easy, and how much fun would it be to sit in front and just do that folding, because that's really the only bit you really got to concentrate on. The rest is pretty simple. Now I'm going to go to the second card, and I'm just going to show you how simple design can then be changed up. So this time I'm using different products. And I'm using different colours. So I'm going to be using the real red. And I've already embossed. And if I was doing these for Christmas cards and doing more than one, I would actually just run all my embossing through at one time. And if you have our super large embossing folders that have been released in the last, for both the annual catalogue and the mini catalogue, you would be able to do 2 at one time. So how easy is that? That saves a lot of time and effort. So, and actually that birchwood embossing folder is what I used. See, I hate this. That card has gone disappearing. What have I done with it? Well, that's what I used on the first card. Oh, this one here. I used the gorgeous birchwood embossing folder. How gorgeous is that? And I mean, I know they call it birchwood, but I don't. I just find it adds texture. It doesn't necessarily look like a wood grain, but when you want it to look like a wood grain, it does. So this is the Merry Melody 3D embossing folder. It's in the annual catalogue, so it's available. And you can see the gorgeous embossing on this. Wait a minute, I'm losing picture. The gorgeous embossing on this. This time I'm going to make it a portrait card, and I'm going to show you how to fold a few more of these. I'm just going to grab my chair, trying to stand up less. I'm going to show you how to fold a few more of these little strips. So I've done a couple just to save time. I know. So I have left to right, right to left. So I'll do the 3 right to left. So I've already done 1. So I want the red, the plainer colour to pop, the darker colour, the one with the most intensity, to be the piece that I'm folding over. So it's on the downside of your pattern paper. Hello, Rosie. Haven't seen you for ages. So I'm doing a folded chevron card tonight. So I need 3 of these from right to left on the top and left to right on the bottom. This is the only part you've got to be careful with, and to be honest, it's not that difficult. So I just line it up, put out like a light fold line with my fingers, and then use the bone folder to reinforce the folds. So then I just need 1 more going back this way. I'm sorry I have to turn it around, but it's the only way I can do it. So you can see I've gone left to right, but it just needs to come over just a smidgen. All right, and then I'm going right to left at the bottom. And just for those who've joined me, I'll re-show you the card. It's not the same card as I'm making now, but I've changed it up just to show you how flexible or versatile this card actually is. Right. So this is what we're making. This one is the one that I'm doing is going to be different than this. Rightio. So this time I'm going to make it for portrait, as I said. So I'm going to be starting the top left-hand corner. Let's get that out of the way. And then it's going to work. So I'm doing the right to left one always first because I've got 3 of those. And then the left to right. You'll see what happens here. So it works exactly the same. Now I'm going to have to turn it around only because it works easier for me to be able to do that. And then I've got this really cute sentiment. So again, I'm lining it up the very corner and the very edge. Just making sure it's nice and square. Squarer you get it, the easier it is to do. And it turns out the other end. There's a bit of flexibility in this, especially if you're using multi-purpose glue. So you want this piece down to be down, touch the bottom, and these 2 to line up. So then I need one of the right to lefts to go back up. See how simple this is. It's just how colour and pattern works well on this. Put this one down and that one up. So I'll just check it in case I need to do a little bit of adjusting. I like this one, I've got to say, this colour the best, and I think it's perfect for a easy Christmas card, a little different, especially for those who like more generic Christmas cards. And I don't necessarily mean us making them, but those who they're going to. Okay, so that's how it works. So this one goes down, and I love how it turns out. Now, I've then got, so you've now seen me actually turn them over. Now, this time I changed up the designer series paper. Oh, sorry, not the designer series paper, the stamp set. And I used the Merry Christmas, so it's combination sentiment. But the sentiments in here are so, so nice. I showcased this, I think last week, it might have been the week before, but it's one where you combine, it's a sentiment builder. So wishing you happy holidays, wishing you Merry Christmas, wishing you, wait a minute, wishing you, there was something about this, wishing you a happy Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. So you can build it, but it's got these different fonts, which I really like, but I love this to go in a circle. So if you're looking for a big circle, this sentiment, may your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration. Love this. So I'll show you what my sentiments look like. So I embossed. Now I showed everybody how to, if you're unsure how to do heat embossing, on my live on Friday with Christine, I actually did it live, so you'll be able to follow along. So I actually picked a combination. I've got the Greetings of a Season here, which is an online exclusive, but I just knocked my camera. Yeah. But I combined it with Peaceful Season, which has these really, really gorgeous, I love them, banners. So they've got two, but there's something really special about these. I used that on the first card, this little one. They're good sizes, but I'll show you what's special about these. Now, I'll show you what happens, why I needed to do this first, because then you'll understand the design. So this is going to sit here, but if I use the banner, you can see it really doesn't fit anywhere. It doesn't work. So it was great because it was the perfect size for here. But how Stampin' Up have done it is these are actually these little tails. You can see the little tail here can actually cut off. I can pull them off, but I'm going to cut them. So it's kind of like you can use this two different ways. I love the ingenuity of this. So now it's going to fit on. Let's hope it does. Anyway, I didn't try it. I just assumed it would. See how easy these are. They've just got a little tiny, look, they pull apart. You don't really need to do that. I do like to clean up the edge. And there's a little edge down here. Just need to trim. So now you can see it fits perfectly. Now, for a pattern card like this, I went really simple with the sentiment. Now, I've got some iridescent basic pearls, or pearls jewels. They're in the annual catalogue. And I'm going to do exactly the same because I want to keep it. There's a lot happening here. I want to keep it fairly simple. So I'm just going to put again in the center. It's pretty easy to line up. And this is a great way of getting rid, well, I don't like saying getting rid of, but using up the sentiments, the embellishments that you may not have used up. So any bling that matches your card, and white works perfectly on this one. Oops, that's not where it needs to be. Right, so you can now see that. So it just adds that little bit more interest. So I've got a little bit of texture. I've got different patterns, got different layers, different colours, and that's what makes this card so interesting, even though it's really easy. I'm just going back, I don't know, trying to find my little mini dimensions again, because I'll just use a little strip. That little bee's in the way a little bit. So I'm just going to pop this up. I do have take a pic tool here somewhere. That makes it easy. And somehow I've lost, oh, where is it? Can't find it. I have to cut another one. Oh, here it is. Jumped over there. So you can see how easy this card is, how you can use what you have, or you can use some of the new products. I'll show you a couple of options that I think will work. So I'll line this up here. Actually, I'm going to have to do this one first. So we'll do the Mary, do the Christmas, do the Mary there, and the Christmas there. Now these are both the same size. So I'll glue this down and I'll just show you what I would do. I do exactly the same that I've done on the other card, on the insert to this. So I wouldn't do anything different. I'd keep it simple. One of the things I could do if I wanted it a little, can I say classy, is I could have made my embossing folder a little bigger. Sorry, not my embossing folder, this sheet a little bigger, then cut it down to size, and then I could have put the strip on a white card base on the inside. I cut all these card bases. Oh, here's my card base. So I could have then just cut like a strip of that music and put it down here, and then put a Christmas saying on the sentiment on the inside. So they're the two cards. Let's bring them back. And remember, this was the first card I made. Now I've got some paper over here which comes from the annual catalogue. That would work as well. Not, as I said, sometimes all our papers would work. This year it's a little harder. So I'll show you which one I would pick. This one here. Now this is from the Frames and Flowers Designer Series paper. I mean, it's gorgeous. Whoops. It's got so many, it comes with all these little dies, and I've used so many of them. But you can see how that would work as well, because you've got that dark contrast on that side. So that's another option for this. So Joanne says the red and white card with the paper folding on the side appeals to me. I think it's my favourite one as well. And it tells you that most of our cards can be turned around from portrait to landscape or the reverse. I normally do a lot of portrait cards, but this one, this one I did like landscape because it just seemed to go with it. And then I thought I'm going to try and turn it around and do something different. And that's a different Christmas card. And I like just the idea of that. Now, just a reminder, the mini Christmas holiday catalogue, and I'll turn round back up to me. Let me know if you are watching which card is your most popular. Also, rightio, so the Christmas catalogue went live today. It's full of fabulous products. And if you haven't got your catalogue from me yet, if it hasn't arrived, some have gone out. There is a digital copy in my online store, and there's a link in my Facebook page. Now, also, I've got a couple of classes coming up at the end of this month on the 29th of, I'm supposed to put you up here on the, wait a minute, let's get some light here. On the 29th, I'll do a catalogue launch, and it'll be full of fun. I always do some games, prizes, projects, and you get a bit of a understanding of what's actually in the catalogue and having a play with the new products, and you'll get some gifts to take home. And then on the 27th of October, I will be doing a full day stamp camp. Now I just need to make a decision on whether that goes over 2 days or 1 day, and you can choose whether you do 1 or 2 days. So thanks everybody. I really appreciate you attending today. Thank you. I think it's Wendy. I'm getting names mixed up here. Yeah, Wendy. Thank you, Wendy. I'm sure I've got a home for that to go to in the next few months. So thanks very much, everybody. Love you joining me, and I will see you next week. Now, next week, because I've done 2 weeks, I think, of relatively simple cards. Next week, we'll step it up for some projects that are for the experienced stampers, and obviously everyone can do them, but you probably might need a few extra supplies than what you need tonight. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. I will be. I'm feeling so much better than I have been for the last few weeks. So it's exciting to get back to good health. Thanks, everybody.